Elizabeth. Elizabeth says she's often criticized for not sharing enough information about her personal life. Today is a lucky day. If you know who Fleetwood Mac is, or even the Dixie Chicks, then you will recognize the lyrics to this to Landslide. Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around it. Landslide is about fear and having everything come crashing down on you and not knowing how you're going to get through it. This is a story about Elizabeth's landslide and how she got through it. Please welcome Toastmasters Elizabeth Ramirez.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Like most people, COVID was a major turning point in my life. Not only was I one of the first people locally to contract COVID, but I was also one of the many to have lasting sequelae. This isn't why COVID changed my life. No. I believe that COVID was the precipitating factor which led to the breakdown of my friendships. These friendships are what I considered my forever friendships, and this is what movies were made about. Our children grew up together. We did mud runs, we did triathlons, we were there for each other during our illnesses and crises, and even during the dreaded teen years. And then, in March of 2020, the world came to a halt, and this was the beginning of my landslide. You see, at first, we embraced these changes, and we were there for each other, we supported each other. But then the weeks turned into months, and our interactions grew less. So then when we had this opportunity to get together a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, I jumped on board. However, with the frictions of COVID, conflicting political views, scrummy food, and dare I say, too much good wine, some people would say this was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And those people would be absolutely correct. So what do you do when you've built your life around your friends? And I mean, I built my life around my friendships. And you wake up and you realize one of your biggest fears has come true. And you're alone. In one fell swoop, I lost 5 friends. Yes, they come as a package. One shot and you're done. In modern terminology, after 15 years of friendship, I was ghosted. Not even a goodbye, an explanation, and I didn't even warrant a middle finger salute. Some of you are probably wondering, what did I do to warrant such an abrupt ending to 15 years of friendship? Well, I was also asking that same question. And the pain was crippling. I would wake up and there were days I didn't want to get out of bed. And I really, really, truly despised my cell phone because it reminded me of my loneliness and those texts weren't coming. And I didn't have those friends that were going to rally around me and pick me up by my bootstraps. So after a couple of months of just being tired of being tired, I decided that I was going to go back and look at my relationship patterns. We all have relationship patterns that are familiar to us, and we learn this in our childhood. And it typically comes into play when you meet new people. You may be this person or you may know someone. All you want is a healthy relationship, and then you end up attracting the same person over and over again. It doesn't matter if they speak a different language, wear different clothes, have a different job. It typically always ends up the same way. And this is because of our relationship patterns and our core beliefs. And I want to share an incident that helped me understand some of my relationship patterns. So back in 2017, I was on a girls' trip, and I was informed that I had to stay with the group. Yes, like a child, I was told I had to stay with the group. Because, to be fair, I do have a tendency to wander off and talk to strangers. So they got a text, and they were told the room was ready, so I said I'd like to stay here and, just enjoy the ocean, and could you let me know when you're going to the room? Well, unbeknownst to me, I had just broken one of the cardinal rules. So, cue the verbal bashing. I was told I was inconsiderate, selfish, I speak with a harsh tone, I'm disorganized, amongst other flaws. Well, to be fair, some of those are true. But it is magnified when your friends are, how can I say this, have obsessive compulsive tendencies with a strong need to control. So one would make, in their eyes, an unmotivated sloth look hardworking and organized. I stayed in those friendships. I stayed because it was both familiar and comfortable to me. I was told growing up I was the problem. I was always the problem. And so I would learn how to fix it. These patterns were normal to me. But I also realized I was attracting people that, how can I say this? That felt very comfortable pointing out my flaws and didn't apologize. But I was also in denial. In psychology, we say, don't even know I'm lying. I stayed because I didn't want to lose what I already had, my family. And I was willing to be unhappy in order not to lose this. It took COVID to finally make me aware of my landslide. I can point out all the ways my friends' actions did not match their words of love and loyalty, but my words and actions were also not in alignment. While I may have expressed frustration, sadness, and anger, my actions said otherwise. I stayed, I looked for ways to fix myself, which sent the message that I was okay with the way I was being treated. And I had to take accountability for that. I'm not the one who's saying bad things happen for a reason, because when you're in the middle of it, it's just really, really painful. But I do believe that we have the power to decide how to let those difficult times define us. So I've decided to take my power back and learn to have new and healthy relationship patterns by making sure my actions and words are in alignment. The choice is ultimately mine.